Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a DIY on this jacket. I'm just going to call it a crystal junk jacket because I know what I've envisioned, but I don't really know what we're really gonna do. I know, but I don't know. So, we're just going to follow along,
Hold up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Win, 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 win. Yeah. Curve everything else. Win, 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 win. These ops ain't lit.
So the material you're gonna need is a jacket. I got this jacket from Russe and it was on sale for $25. Originally $43.99, and it is an oversized jacket. It hits like right below my butt. Not super long, not super big, but it's oversized and it's cute. So to bedazzle, we're gonna use these little appliques that I got off of Amazon. This big one, well, bigger one, was $25, I believe, and then these two little ones, they were $10 a piece, and they're both the AB crystals. Of course, they have like gold, black, and silver, different ones on there, and I'll definitely link them below so you can click on it and just pick whichever ones you want. We have E6000 glue. It's wrapped up because there was a hole in it and I was not about to throw all this glue away, so I had to figure out a way to make it stop. Some regular old scissors, and then I also want to add some of this like on the sleeves. We'll get into it, but this chain, I got this chain from Hobby Lobby. I honestly wish that I could find it somewhere else because I just don't like Hobby Lobby. They literally only have one coupon that you can use on one thing, and my projects just be too big and I be need more coupons than that. Joann's is my favorite because you can use the coupons off of the app as well as online. Like if you go to joanns.com and you go on the actual website and get coupons, you can use both the coupons in one transaction. So anyway, I got this chain from Hobby Lobby, and then you're gonna need pliers to pull it apart and put it back together. And then we also have these eyelets and an eyelet tool because you'll be needing that to string this through. So I have a vision. We're gonna see how it turns out, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. So let's get into this crystal junk DIY denim jacket. Alright, so the first thing to get started, I'm going to button the jacket up so everything's aligned and even on both sides. And then I'm going to start by cutting the jacket sleeves and the bottom as part of my initial design process. I had to get some heavier duty scissors to cut through this denim. But what my design was to have the sleeves kind of open and distressed, and as well as at the bottom, and then I was going to use the grommets. Are they grommets? I think they're grommets. And then link the chain through it. What I wish I would have done is cut the sleeve like completely off and then just use the chain to like reattach it. I think that would have gave it more of a grungy look, but the chain detail stuff made it really cute. So what I did is I just cut the sleeves like halfway down so it wouldn't cause too much tension on the jacket, because I didn't really know how strong the chain was going to be, even though it's really, really strong. So I could have cut the whole sleeve off. So I'm going to do that on both sleeves, and then halfway on the bottom where you can fasten it, where it's like connected, has like the bulkier denim. And I'm going to create like a little detailed thing with the chain. So here I'm just measuring like how far in I want to cut, and that's where I'm going to create my little chain design. So I'm going to do that on both sides, and then I initially started laying out the grommets because I was going to use them, but I ended up not even using them because they just were not working and I got fed up. If you have a better time, I think this will look a little more neat. I kind of like how distressed and grungy the jacket kind of looks. Girly grunge, I guess. But you can use these to make your holes a lot neater and lace the chain through that, which was my initial design thought process. But they did help me with spacing as far as where I wanted the chain to go and link from one side of the other to the jacket sleeves and the bottom. So here I'm just placing them down, finding matches, and spacing them out to where I want the holes in my sleeves to be. Now I'm just taking this green paint just because it was the closest thing to me and marking where I will actually be placing the holes in the jacket because the grommets are bigger than what I need the hole to be. So I'm just using a thin paintbrush and the green paint so I can see on the jacket where I will be cutting the hole to place the bottom, well, the top of the grommet. Really just a hole. It's just going to be a hole. So once I move those out the way, then I can see exactly where I need to place a hole. So now moving those out the way, I'm going to use that little black thing right there, the little hole puncher, and that's where I'm initially starting to punch the holes in the jacket. Of course, you're going to do this on all sides of the jacket where you plan on putting your chain. And I decided I wanted a little, I don't know, weird looking detail, so I placed 2 grommets on the bottom thicker part of the denim jacket. I would have done 3 so it would have lined up evenly, but that bottom was just really thick and I was like, my hand is going to get tired, so we just did 1, and I think it kind of created a cool looking little chain design at the end. And I'm doing the same thing on the back. Is it too much to ask if I should go or I should stay? In the moment of doubt, put your hand on the floor. So now that we have all our holes marked, we're going to punch holes in to start making the hole. Like I said, I ended up not even using those grommets at all, but I used this small little hole punch so I wouldn't make the holes too big. And then what I ended up doing, instead of putting the grommets in it, I just used the grommet tool, which punches out a little hole of fabric so your grommet like sticks through it and stays. I just used that to punch the holes in the jacket so then they were neat and nice. They just didn't have the silver part inside of it. And this is me struggling to use the grommet, and I'm just going to leave it in because I want you to see how much I struggled. It was just not clasping to itself. It would not stay in the fabric, and I'm like, yo, my hand hurts already, and this is just 1. And we have to do however many holes I just punched. I said it's a no. So it just was not staying for me. But I ended up using that tool I'm using to kind of close the grommet down to just punch holes in it. When you take the little green part out, it actually punches a hole through the fabric. And I'm just going over where I placed those little green dots and punching a hole. And it's literally like a hole punch for like paper. So for fabric. So we just do that on every little dot we placed on our jacket, and you'll have to clean it out every so often because the fabric will get built up in the little hole. And then you just clean it out and keep on moving until you've made little holes on all the little green dots you created. So this is what it's looking like, and this is where we'll be placing the chain throughout the jacket, through those little holes. Now to get this chain work. So basically I'm just going to lace the chain through the holes that I created in the jacket. I should have like laced it however I wanted and then measured it so they would have been exactly the same on both sides, but it's fine, it looks fine. I just wanted the chain detail. So basically I'm just lacing it like a shoelace and going from the back to the front so we make sure all of the chain detail is on the outside of the jacket. I'm just using the scissors here because I'm linking this one chain through that one hole across the bottom of the jacket. And once we get all the chain through the holes, you'll use your pliers to open up the clasp, take apart one end of the chain and then close it back, and then do the same with the other side so it's all linked together and won't come loose. And I had to go back through and relace the chain because it wasn't laying how I needed it to lay. So that's the design we created, and that's as much chain as we need to link it so that it won't come through the jacket. So now I'm going to use the pliers to open up whatever little clasp was close enough to another piece of chain so I can link them together. So you gotta be a little ambidextrous with this part because you will be using both of your hands to open up the clasp and link it back onto the chain that you have laced through your jacket. So we're just taking off one end of the chain and then linking it onto what we have created in our jacket. And it doesn't matter what loop, just so it's out the way and it can't really be seen from the outside of the jacket. And then we're going to use the pliers to close that back so it's secure in place. And I was really just trying to find a length that didn't cause too much tension, so the chain still kind of hung loosely, but it was secure. Close it back. And you repeat this step on the other side of the jacket. And you see here, this is the opposite end of the chain. So you're just going to take that off and close the clasp back like you did before. And then before you start on the other side of the jacket, you'll just link the two halves of the chain back together so you are having one strand instead of two separate ones. And voila, we got a little chain detail. So like I said, now we're just putting the chain back together so you have one strand instead of two from separating the front from the end. And you're going to do the same steps and just link it, lace it through. Now here I was a little bit smarter and pre-did the chain length, the length that I wanted to go through the sleeve of the jacket, and then I left one loose so I can just link it together. Now this would have actually been really cute, like I said in the beginning, if I used a longer chain or cut the sleeve completely off and used the chain to link it completely back together. That would have been a really nice detail. But my fear for doing that was I thought it would have been too heavy because I was going to wear this jacket, so you have to think about the movement, you wearing it, and like getting snagged on stuff. So I didn't want the chain is strong, but I just didn't want to put that much wear and tear on it and the weight of the sleeve against the chain and all of that. So I just repeat these steps, use my pre-cut or pre-detached little things of chain and link them all the way back together on both sleeves. I'm not asking for a miracle, just you and me. This is what you should have. Cute little chain detail. Another cool thing to do with this, since it was so closely attached, was to distress on the inside of the sleeves before putting your chain on it. That would have been cute as well. So now to add our sparkle razzle dazzle, we'll be putting on our appliques, and I decided to lay it on the top of the jacket as opposed to the bottom because the distressing there was just too far down and I didn't feel like the adhesive would adhere or stay securely. So we put it at the top where there was more just black undistressed denim, and I was like, well, I can just swing my hair out the way or wear short hair and you can see it. You get the bling. So what you're gonna do is I just place it where I want it to be, and then I cut the outside mesh from around it, and then we use our trusty E6000 glue to adhere this larger applique at the top, as well as the appliques that I decided and placed on the elbows of the sleeves. And instead of just putting glue all on the back of the applique, I laid it down where I wanted it to be, and then just kind of like rolled it back and did it in kind of like sections, so it would stay exactly where I wanted it placed. And I'm telling you, E6000 is the GOAT. It's really messy. You have to put the cap back on every time you stop using it, because it will just ooze out. But when I say it's industrial strength, it stays, honey, it stays, okay? Just let it curate for however long it says it needs to curate, which I think is like, mine usually works for like a day. I let it sit, I just let the item sit for a day, and it's completely secure. You can go through the washer, wear it, and do whatever you need to do with it. So these are the little elbow appliques that I decided to use, well, appliques that I decided to put on the elbow. And they just have like a plastic backing, so you just take that off, and again, put the E6000 glue on the back and just push it down and let it chill. So after I got both of these elbow appliques on, I felt like the jacket just needed a little bit more razzle dazzle. So I went in my trusty dusty craft box, one of my mini craft boxes, and I had this AB crystal chain that I also got from Hobby Lobby, and I decided to line certain areas of the jacket with it just to give it a little subtle more sparkle. So this is the chain that I used, and it comes on a roll just like the chain does, and it's in the same exact section. So I just picked random parts on the jacket. I lined some on the back, I lined some on the pockets, on the front, and you know, just a little bit more sparkle, keeping with the AB iridescent crystal look. And again, E6000 is the GOAT. And this chain is thin enough to just cut with regular scissors. So once we completed that, we let it sit overnight, and we have our finished junk bling jacket. Alright, and this is our finished jacket. We'll get some little close-ups. She looks so pretty in the sun. She really sparkles and dazzles. I may try and do a similar jacket to this with a little more grunginess to it. So I think I want to do like completely cutting the sleeves off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this is like a year-old footage that I just found on a camera. I'm so glad I found it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Then slide over, hit the notification bell, and hit all videos so you're always notified when I have a new upload. I love doing these types of DIY videos, so if there's anything that you want me to maybe try, I have a list of stuff I want to do already. But if there's anything you want me to try, go ahead and DM it to me on Instagram, and I will definitely look into it. But again, thank you so much for coming back to my channel, and I will see y'all in the next one. Stay true.
Is it too much to ask if I should go or I should stay?